Hi KG2. So today we're going to do something really, really fun. We are going to build 3D shapes together. So what you're going to need is either toothpicks, popsicle sticks, or straws. Anything that's kind of like a stick. Barbecue skewers work as just as good too. Anything that's kind of long and straight that you can stick things into. And then you also need something to stick those things into. So you can get either big marshmallows, mini marshmallows, Play-Doh, or plasticine like I have here. I'm going to use plasticine. I find it works the best because it's kind of stiffer and I have lots of it. Marshmallows will work really well as well. So you're going to need all those materials. You can pause the video and go gather those materials if you need, and then you can press play. All right, so now that you're back and got your materials, what you're going to need to do is click on there's two posters to click on the slide. There's one of like the four 3D shapes we'll be building, and then also the other one, which is this one here, and it's your activity sheet. So we're going to be building a cube, a rectangular prism, a triangular prism, and a pyramid. So there's a sheet there that shows all four in a bigger space so you can see it better, or you can just print this one off. This will also be uploaded onto Class Dojo as an activity sheet. So if you want to print it off and write on here, you can do, all you have to do is on the activity sheet, just write down across it or put a check mark on it, submit that one, and then submit this one if you wanted to print it off. All right, let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build the cube, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to write in these two spaces and how we're going to count that. After that, I will continue building the shapes with you, but then it's up to you to figure these numbers out here. If you want an added challenge, you can pause the video after I finish the cube and answering these two questions here. So the number of edges and the number of vertices. And then you can go ahead and build by yourself to see if you can do it if you want the added challenge. Otherwise, you can stay online with me and watch the video to the end to see how we build these shapes together. All right, let's get started. I'm going to put the camera down so you can see what I'm doing on my desk. It's too much to like kind of hold it up. So let's go. All right, so I got my plasticine balls. You're going to have to make your balls into Play-Doh, your Play-Doh balls and all that stuff, because that's what you'll be sticking your toothpicks or straws into. So the first thing I'm going to do is make my cube. So I'm going to stick a stick this way, and I'm going to make a smaller ball. And stick one on this side, and then stick one up. Stick another one up. And now I can do a ball on top. Sometimes you can make, you know what these can also be called? Spheres. So we're going to put a sphere on top. Just look at that. You guys are making another 3D shape while building one. But normally, spheres aren't used to build 3D shapes. But it's kind of cool that you get to build a sphere before you stick it onto another 3D shape. So I'm going to go like that. So you have your four plasticine or Play-Doh balls or marshmallows. I'm going to stick one across from here. And there you go. So there is your 2D shape because it's flat. It's your square. Then you're going to take your toothpicks and you're going to stick them going up just like this. And each toothpick is going to need a Play-Doh ball as well. There's my, oops, that one's kind of big. Make a ball, stick it on top. So as you can see, I don't really care what the colors I'm using. I'm just kind of sticking it. So you can see I used a yellow and green one there. Kind of two different plasticines together, Play-Doh. Stick it on top. And then you're going to put toothpicks touching each ball just like this. Oh. It's a little difficult because they kind of fall apart, but that's okay. And then one in here, like that. So you're just touching all the Play-Doh balls now. There you go. So there is your 3D cube. See? All right, let's answer that question now. So here we have our cubes here, and we're going to answer So it says number of edges. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to count how many toothpicks you use. So you could either, after you build your 3D shape, is take it all apart and count the toothpicks, or you can count the toothpicks while they're still attached to your 3D shape. I'm going to count them while they're still attached, but you can take them apart if you want. So it's coming apart anyways. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I used 12 toothpicks to make this. So I have 12 edges on my 3D shape. So 12 is with a 1 in front and then a 2. So I'll curl around and back on track. There is my cube. And now we're going to count. That's my number of edges. Remember, I counted my toothpicks. So now I'm going to count my number of vertices. Remember, vertices is the point where the two straight lines meet, that point, that very sharp point on it. And your vertices are your Play-Doh balls or your marshmallows. So let's count our Play-Doh balls. Oh no, it's falling apart. So again, you can take your 3D shape apart and count your balls, count the Play-Doh balls, or you can leave them on. I'm going to leave them on for now. So let's count our Play-Doh balls. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 vertices, or you used 8 Play-Doh balls. So 8 is just a small circle on top and a small circle on the bottom. There you go. So it's easy. All you have to do is count how many toothpicks and how many Play-Doh balls you used, and then you got your edges and your vertices. So I'm not going to fill out the rest of the sheet. That's up to you guys. You can stop the video here if you want to try to build the other 3D shapes by yourself. So the rectangular prism, the triangular prism, and the pyramid. Or you can pause it to see if you can do it yourself and then see if you made it right, or if you need help, you can press play. If you want to build with me, you can keep watching. All right, let's build our rectangular prism. I'm going to put the camera back down. I'm just going to leave it down so that we can see. So I'm going to take it all apart. There's something really tricky. I didn't tell this if the other people turned it off. Tricky about the rectangular prism, because you're using a couple extra toothpicks to make it a little bit longer, or you can grab longer sticks because a rectangle has 2 short sides and 2 long sides. So, or you can use a straw. Straws are really great because you can cut them apart. So I'm gonna pull this all apart just like that. We're going to make our rectangular prism now. So I'm gonna do smaller balls this time. So remember the edges of a rectangle are short. To have 2 short edges, I can make 2 short edges right now. And then I have to make long edges. So you can use a straw, or use something longer, or you can cut something, or you can put 2 toothpicks together like this and put Play-Doh in the middle. I'm just going to use a popsicle stick. Hopefully it will stick in here. Like this. So I'm just kind of folding the Play-Doh or plasticine around. Let's go on the bottom. Okay, so now I need to put my toothpicks up. That. Need Play-Doh balls for the top. Big enough. So you need, again, 2 short and my 2 short sides and my 2 long sides. Hopefully this shape will stay. There we go. There is your rectangular prism. Falls apart. Using Play-Doh and toothpicks aren't going to keep it secure, so it's okay if it falls apart. You just got to rebuild it. But okay, so there's your rectangular prism. And don't forget to count how many toothpicks or popsicle sticks you used and how many Play-Doh balls you used. Is there anything different or the same about the rectangular prism that's falling apart and the cube? Let me know. There's a rectangular prism. Again, you can pause the video here so we can build our next shape. You can try to build the triangular prism by yourself, or you can continue watching and build with me, or build after. Put these to the side. All right, so triangular prism has a triangular sides. So you're only going to need, how many sides does a triangle have? You said 3, you are right. There's 1. And then I need, I'm going to take a medium size, go on top. Stick it in there like that. So there's my triangular side. If you looked at a triangular prism, if you look on your sheet on the page that you have to print off, or your worksheet, or any of the sheets you have to print, you can see that the side of a triangular prism is a rectangle. So I'm going to use my long pieces again to make it, my long popsicle sticks. But I'm going to make my other triangle first. I'm going to use a bit bigger balls this time so that the triangles, the popsicle sticks will stick inside. It's going to roll. Sometimes it's a little hard to roll a ball, but that's okay. So there's my 2 triangles for the ends. I'm going to stick a popsicle stick in here and kind of squish the Play-Doh plasticine around it. Put one here. You can also count the sticks as you're putting them on to count your edges. And then you're going to put it on top. And there is your see if I can get it off, triangular prism. See? Got triangle ends, another triangle end. It's got a rectangle body. So don't forget to count your edges and your vertices. All right, and the last one is a pyramid. If you take a really close look at a pyramid, what kind of base does it have at the bottom? What kind of shapes do you see in it? What 2D shapes do you see? You said a square, you're right. So the first thing I'm going to build is my square. So I'm going to put my plasticine balls and make a square like that. And then one more. So there's my square base. Just like that. Now I need to make it into a triangle. So I'm going to put 4 sticks, 1 stick in each plasticine ball, but I'm going to make it to a point. So I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And then there is, try to get them all close together, my square-based pyramid. There. So don't forget again to count the edges and your vertices. I hope you had fun building, and don't forget to fill again for the last time. Don't forget to fill in your edges and your vertices and to count how many sticks you used in each. If you want to send in a little extra video, you could show your 3D shapes and keep them all together if you wanted, and show your teacher what you made, and maybe describe what you did. What kind of shapes did you use to make your 3D shapes? Or describe to a family member. Have fun building!